it's in a word or if it's in a look, you can't get rid of the Babadook. The Babadook stars Essie Davis, Noah Wiseman, and is directed by Jennifer Kent. So guys, I've been hearing a lot about the Babadook over the past 6 months, and I've been really wanting to see it. I finally got around to picking it up, and they say the Babadook and It Follows are pretty much the two best horror movies to come out over the last year. And I will say the Babadook is really effective. I don't find it near as good as It Follows, but it is entertaining, and it's very well directed and very well acted. So in the Babadook, Amelia, played by Essie Davis, she is a single mother and she has a troubled son. When she was on the way to give birth to her son, her husband actually died. And her son is maybe between 7 and 10 years old, and she has been conflicted and grieving for her husband ever since, and she's been dealing with her son who's had so many psychological problems ever since this happened. He's very odd, he's very unique. He gets in trouble a lot at school, and like any single mother, she is constantly at odds with trying to deal with these everyday struggles. And then the story takes a turn when they find this book called Mr. Babadook. And throughout the movie, the Babadook becomes infused in her life and manifests itself into her depression. And a lot of times you don't know what is reality and what is fantasy in this woman's mind. First of all, I gotta say, the Babadook had wonderful performances, and it is really well directed. Director Jennifer Kent, and by the way, I didn't know a woman directed this, very well done job. Jennifer Kent takes a lot of time on these characters, building them, bringing you into the world, and so by the time chaos hits in the third act, you're right there with them. You understand where they're coming from, and everything they do kind of makes sense. And I gotta say, Essie Davis and Noah Wiseman, they play so well off of each other. Noah Wiseman looks like he's maybe 10 years old, and he is an amazing actor for a child. And it's tough for a movie to carry an hour and a half with a child actor, but he does it, especially against Essie Davis, who, this is like an Oscar caliber performance, really. She does an amazing job. Which brings me to another point. Horror movies don't really get the respect they deserve in the acting department. And it's a shame because there are so many great performances out there. But I digress. Also guys, when you watch The Babadook, you want to make sure you watch it on a really good sound system, because the score is very chilling in this movie, like any good horror score. And the director plays a lot with your everyday sounds, like sawing a piece of wood. It seems like all those little sounds are heightened. And if you don't listen to that on a good sound system, the movie's gonna suffer. Also, this movie is very ambiguous. By the time you're done with this movie, it really creates a discussion because the director doesn't explain everything. And like I said earlier, sometimes you are conflicted with what's reality and what is fantasy. And the director gives you just enough, but she doesn't explain everything, and that's to the benefit of the viewer. And finally, the third act is very effective in this movie. It kind of reminds me of Misery and The Exorcist and The Shining all rolled into one. And also the score plays a big part in all of that. Guys, there are a lot of pros about the Babadook. It's very unique. There are a couple things that I didn't really like about it. Like I said earlier, they take a lot of time building these characters, but they almost take too much time, and it almost feels more of a drama than a horror piece at times. But the third act definitely more than makes up for it. And finally, unfortunately, the Babadook, for me, it's probably going to be a one-time watch. Even though it was directed very well, I know this is kind of a cop-out, but it wasn't scary enough. I didn't have that cold chill down my spine after watching, like I did with It Follows. It Follows was very unsettling. The Babadook, while scary, it wasn't something that I'll be watching again. But I do appreciate the performances and the direction. So overall guys, I am going to give the Babadook a humdrum, even though it's definitely between humdrum and purchase worthy. And I can see how some people would really, really love this movie. So guys, what is your favorite horror movie this year? Are there some that maybe I haven't seen that you might want to recommend? I'm always on the lookout for good horror. Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and Humdrum out.